why it is need or we have a need to sustainalize and make supply chains transparent is that well, the demand for sustainable products is growing and for sustainable services and organizations. And well, then you have to make a decision as a company. What are you going to do? What is your 0 point? Where am I standing now? And how am I going to report? Because you have a lot of law and regulations and frameworks where you can base your reporting on, but you can also combine those and make the greatest business for good that you can be out of it. So here you see an example of the SDGs, of the well, the topics of the ISO standards that, for example, the ISO 26000 or the ISO 2400 regarding corporate social responsibility and sustainable procurement, which are guidelines and which are not yet certifiable. Well, this is a slide with the trends described this year from the Davos, and I'm going to share the slides afterwards, so you can see that more closely. Here we actually outlined a few examples by bigger corporations that are using sustainability as an asset or circular economy by selling more products or getting more turnover by communicating that they're sustainable and their sustainability efforts. Because everybody now realizes that with sustainability, you actually also gain a USP. So as soon as you start reporting and you show the world that you want to be transparent, you have a plus. Whether you do it right or wrong, there is no right or wrong. You just have a 0 point and you go further from there to actually, do better. And the challenges of organizations today is that there's actually no one in or all-in-one system. And there's an overload of information that's also often very complex. So you need consultancy, you need expensive advisors to tell you what is sustainability and how am I going to implement it in my organization. So there's no clean path towards sustainability. And also a lack of clarity or an overload on certifications. And a lot of certifications and labels are sector specific, are country specific, and the consumer or the end user in the end doesn't know what it means. So we have the corporate social responsibility pillar, the sustainable procurement pillar, the health and safety pillar, the CO2 reduction and carbon reduction pillar, circular economy, and biodiversity actually joined very recently institutions. And this is like the roadmap, what we do with, or which the companies and organizations who use the system are going through. So they measure the present, they measure and make criteria and for the ambition. Then they have the baseline measured. Then they have concrete options where they can choose and that they can define, and then they can do the right things and implement it simultaneously in the organization. So that's actually the solutions or the steps that you can all go through the system. Although we also have, of course, organizations that only start with measuring products and after that start measuring the organization and vice versa. Well, this is the organization scorecard. It's actually divided in two screens here. The left side, you see on the top the rating with their possibility to state your vision and mission. And there under you see the scorecard where the rating is based on. And you see there the 6 pillars with the overall score, and then also a legend that explained the pillars and the rating. You see also audit data below the circle. And then you see data about anti-bribery and fraud, which is based on the notifications of the OECD guidelines or the OECD notification point. Then you see also the baseline and progress, where you can see where you stand now in rating and where you want to be in a few years. And actually, this is actually what the GSES does and is. And what we do is we actually facilitate the database for free for everybody that wants to search for organizations that are how they are rated on sustainability, and also on products and projects. So soon there will be an opportunity also in the database for a consumer or a client or a person or a company to request a company to join the database, so that the database keeps on growing. So, well, our goal is to be the biggest database on sustainability data that's really verified, to change the world and to really enable global sustainable procurement for everybody, because yeah, that's important.